Hi everybody, welcome back. I have a special guest with me today, and we're matching. We didn't even plan it, huh? Yep. And this is my daughter, and we basically found out that she had celiac disease about 6 months ago, and we found this. I know, it's crazy, right? And we found this out because there were different symptoms going on with her, as far as she had a lot of bone pain, and she was very tired a lot, and she craved a lot of minerals, especially what was your favorite one? On everything, what were you like, this needs more what?
This needs more what?
What did you crave all the time? Your salt?
Oh, yes. Salt.
Yeah, everything had to have salt. Everything had to have salt, and nothing had enough. So, at that point, I had talked to a pediatrician, and I had talked to her about her pains and stuff for a little bit of time, and it just kept coming up. So I thought it was really important that we, looked a little bit deeper into it. So, at first her pediatrician thought it was, just different things that were upsetting her tummy. So we went and got a tummy x-ray. Remember that? When they took a picture of your tummy?
Mm-hmm.
And
it was a long time ago at, this guy, because there was a lot of, poop in there.
Yeah, there was a lot of gas and poop and stuff in there. And then we went and got a bunch of blood work done, and I didn't even know that the doctor was testing for celiac, but the next day they called, and she tested positive for celiac with really high numbers. Yeah. So, maybe a week later, I decided to get myself tested, and I came back positive as well. So, I just wanted Madeline. I said your name again. I was gonna have you say, what's your name?
Madeline.
Yeah. What's your middle name?
Josephine.
Yep. I grew up on Josephine Street, so that's why we named her Madeline Josephine. But I was going to have her come on here so she can kind of tell you a little bit from a child's perspective of how it felt, and, kind of how she feels different now. Okay, so I'm going to ask you some questions, fun questions, and then I will ask you the other ones about your celiac, okay? All right, so how old are you?
7.
7. Madeline just turned 7. And where did we go on your birthday?
Knox.
We went to Knott's Berry Farm, and you got to ride a bunch of rides.
Oh, I know what my favorite part was.
What was your favorite part?
Build a bear.
Oh, Build-A-Bear. Yeah, you got to build, what's your bear's name again?
Flash Reyes.
Oh, Flash Reyes. Yeah, he has, what's the costume he has on?
Flash.
The Flash, of course, Flash
Flash
Reyes.
boots.
Yeah, and Flash boots. So, we had a great time. And what's your favorite thing to do?
Play video games.
Okay, what else?
Eat.
What's your favorite things to eat? I can't hear you.
Everything.
I can't hear you.
Everything.
Everything? You don't have one favorite.
Ice cream and meat and strawberry and fruit and vegetables and donuts and waffles.
So a mixture of good and not most healthy, but delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, perfect.
And popcorn.
So I have a really good question for you. Are you ready? Who is your favorite superhero?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Madeline has loved Spider-Man for years. So anyways, okay. So now we'll go ahead and get into some of her questions. I just kind of wrote a couple down here so I could remember exactly what I was going to ask her. So first thing first, tell me about how you felt. Like before. No, before.
Like before what?
Like what did you feel in your body before we knew what was going on?
I felt safe.
No, like with your pains. Where did you feel your pains?
Like on like here, my ankle.
Oh, we can't see. Not your ankle, your your shin.
Yeah.
So the front shin bone there, and was it always one leg or would it switch?
Well, Well, it was mostly this leg.
Mostly your right leg? But sometimes the other one.
Yeah, it's like a pad one.
And what would make, and it usually happened at night, huh?
I remember that day when you guys had a movie night.
Yeah, and we had to massage it. Yeah. And then what would make it feel better?
This like special lotion.
Yeah, like the massage gel. Right. And then there were some nights that you would come in our bed crying because it was so bad, right? Yeah.
I also talked in my sleep.
Yeah, you talk in your sleep a little bit. That's okay. So what was, how about your tummy? How did your tummy feel?
Good.
All the time?
No, bad sometimes.
Yeah. Where was the pain in your tummy? Like up, the bottom?
Sometimes like right here, like a side bone on your stomach.
Yeah.
And like right here, right here. That's mostly it.
So kind of all around. Was it always after you ate like pastas and breads, or would it be different times of the day?
Like if I eat too much sweets, it hurts.
Sweets. That's most people. But it wouldn't always be like only if you ate bread and stuff. It was all the time, right?
It was sometimes meat.
Yeah. But sometimes it would be from pasta and stuff too.
And chocolate.
Yeah. Right. Okay, so when you found out, like when we finally found out what was going on, how did that make you feel?
Nervous.
Made you nervous? How come?
Because
were you trying to figure it out, what it meant?
no, because I was like,
Talk louder, baby.
because it's I didn't know why I wanted to eat.
You didn't know why it was happening? What did you feel when you found out Mommy had it too?
Happy, and Dad had it.
Well, Dad doesn't really have, her dad doesn't have it. He just has like a sensitivity to it, but he doesn't actually have celiac. But that made you happy? Just because you had someone to be part of that with you? Yeah, yeah. Okay, so what happened is when she tested positive for celiac, what they essentially have to do is, because sometimes those can run a false negative, they didn't think it with her because her numbers were super high, as were mine. When they do your blood, it comes back with certain numbers, and if they're high, it shows that you have celiac.
Talk about blood.
Oh, okay, I won't talk about blood. So once that comes back, then they have to go and do an endoscopy, which I'm sure most of you know what that is, but basically they take a tube that goes down your throat, you're under anesthesia, and then they go into the small intestine and take little samples of Yes, seriously.
Don't, please.
So she had to go get a procedure under anesthesia, to kind of take samples of the small intestine and see how bad it was. So they said parts of it were, pretty bad, and then some weren't quite as bad. But yeah, there were some parts that were pretty bad. So when you had to go in for your procedure, how did you feel? Did you like that, or what were the cool parts of it?
I wore my pajamas, and I wore these special socks, and I also got what is that cheat called again?
Cheat?
No, treat.
Oh, when you woke up, you got a popsicle, huh? And then, so do you remember the procedure? Or were you sleeping?
I was sleeping.
It was super quick, right? And then you woke up and you were next to Mom and Dad?
I just put a mask on, and I was like this, and it like, I'm confused. What are those things that they put on my body, like the stickers?
Oh, they put like the stickers on you for your, to monitor your heart and stuff like that. Yeah. And then you woke up and Mom and Dad were there, and then you got to go home that day. And your tummy hurt that day, right? Yeah, and probably because they had to go in and, it's a little invasive. So, okay. So, got the procedure. Now, what were some things that were hard when you found out and like the changes you've had to make? What ones were hard for you?
Chicken nuggets.
So you miss chicken nuggets. Chicken nuggets are, even though they're chicken, they are breaded in flour and then they are fried, so we can't have those. There are some really good gluten-free options, but like the favorite McDonald's nuggets, right?
Mm-hmm.
What else was hard?
Tacos.
Tacos? You can have tacos with a corn tortilla, you just can't have burritos and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
How about when you, okay. How about when you go to class? Was that hard? Like, did you feel different?
One part, like, was when Dad picked me up from morning lab. We had going classes. I was saying, like, all these gluten-free, and then she said, no, I don't think so.
Oh, so one time when you had to stay after school, you were checking if it was gluten-free and you couldn't get it?
Mm-hmm.
And then what about, like, if people bring cupcakes and stuff to school? Is that hard for you or not too bad?
Well, my teacher doesn't like, we don't, like, bring cupcakes.
Oh, you don't bring cupcakes?
No. Maybe one day.
Yeah. But then those days you can just bring your own
But
separate
when I-
cupcake, right?
Yeah, but, like, when I'm a grandma, I still have to, like, eat gluten-free stuff.
Yeah. Yes, you do have to eat gluten-free even when you're a grandma.
Even when I'm in heaven.
So this is something for your lifetime that you have to make sure that you
Well, I
do.
don't know where I'm gonna go.
No. Yeah, for your life you have to end up doing this.
Oh.
Because if you don't, what happens?
You get hurt a lot and you don't feel good and you
Yeah.
won't be healthy.
Yeah, that's not worth it, is it?
No.
Yeah, no. So, Madeline still does get leg pains here and there, right?
Yeah, but this is how I got.
Oh, your strong muscles?
Yeah.
So she still gets leg pains here and there, and I do as well. The reason being is sometimes it can take about 1.5 years for like everything to filter through your body and to get out of it. But so sometimes that's why she might have leg pains. But even if she has a little bit of gluten, right, that has upset your tummy and stuff like that.
I had Reese's. No, not Reese's. They're good. But
Yeah, Reese's are gluten-free. You'd be surprised.
yeah, but I thought peanut butter wasn't gluten free.
Peanut butter is.
Hmm?
Yeah, it's just a nut.
Oh. Coconut.
Yeah, but there's been a couple times where she tried to sneak a chip or something that wasn't gluten-free, and
I wish I can have Doritos.
you can. And there's a lot that you can have that you had before that you don't have to. There's a lot that you can have now that you couldn't have. I mean, that you didn't have to take out, right? Like, there hasn't been that much you've had to take out except for breads and nuggets. And do they make good pastas for gluten?
Yes.
They do, huh? Okay. So, I think we talked about the things that you miss, which would be your nuggets and stuff like that. And then one thing we have to be really careful on too is cross-contamination. So if we go somewhere that had gluten-free options like French fries, we have to make sure that they are not cooked in the same fryer as something like
toasters.
as a fried chicken or something like that, because it can actually leave little remnants, and you wouldn't think it would be enough, but for someone with celiac, it's enough to really do some damage and cause a lot of pain. So Madeline has her own kind of separate area at home, her own little stuff. What do you have? What are your own separate things that you have?
I have booty and popcorn and ice cream and these like Girl Scout cookies.
Oh yeah, they have gluten-free Girl Scout cookies. But like, as far as you have your own toaster and your own cutting board.
Do we even have it?
Yeah, it's in this drawer.
Mm.
And she has her own cutting board and things like that. So we'll just prep her stuff different. Luckily, we've basically taken all gluten out anyways, but sometimes it can be around, so we just have to be careful about it. And then how do you think you're gonna feel over time? Do you think you're gonna feel better or? Better?
And I'll be a strong little grandma.
A strong little grandma?
Yeah.
Do you feel better? Like, do you feel your tummy and stuff is a lot better?
Mhm.
Yeah. And one thing that's interesting too is she doesn't crave salt as much. She was craving it so much because her numbers were really low because she wasn't getting the proper absorption, and that was creating the bone pain too. In her blood work, her magnesium and iron came back low also. It has a lot to do with anemia and different blood disorders, just because you're not getting the nutrients that you need to have in your body. Okay, so anything that you want to ask Mommy? Do you have any questions that I haven't? Oh, she's showing my favorite, the little Cadbury Easter eggs. Oh, is this for me? Thank you. So do you have any questions that you want to ask Mommy that you're not sure of the answer? Mm-mm. Is there anything you want to tell people? Like about?
Real bad for me.
What? They can't understand you.
Real bad for me, please.
No. We've always taught that this is not something to be upset about. This is just something about you.
My friends feel bad for me.
Your friends do?
Mhm.
Well, you don't need to feel bad. This is something that makes you and it makes you unique, and you're much healthier and much happier. So everyone has their struggles in life and you'll be fine, right?
Mhm.
Is there anything else you want to talk about?
No.
No?
Nope.
Okay. Well, then you can go ahead and say goodbye for the video and we'll be done.
What else? Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening.
Wait, first things first.